Is it all men's fault for being lonely, desperate for women? Recently, Psychology Today journal published an article essentially blaming men for being lonely as a result of women being more selective on dating apps. Whatever. As usual, men get blamed for everything, and this article was written by a man. But is this true? Despite the fact that men are expected to do all the pursuing of women, paying the first date usually at pricey restaurants, courting and planning future dates, buying her birthday gifts, buying the wedding rings, and being on the hook for all the bills when and if they live together or got married, are men lonely because they can't level up to highly selective women, boss chicks or whatever, on these dating apps? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so we can keep this new channel growing for men and the great women out there who want real traditional men. Of course, the answer to the question is no. I think Psychology Today has missed a golden opportunity to really explore the latest trend among men to simply stop trying to please ever increasingly entitled women by avoiding dating altogether. More men are preferring either casual hookups or simply avoiding dating and relationships, focusing on their own interests. On this channel, right here, we call this the Brother Apocalypse. Earlier in 2022, I did a video on why dating apps are useless to gentlemen, as they are now only for giving free validation to modern women. And they're a great playing field for players and thirsty men. So, the Psychology Journal might be correct about thirsty men, but players don't care about becoming quote-unquote emotionally available to women and being better communicators. Players don't care about that crap. Speaking of this bizarre movement by modern women to pressure or even shame men into becoming more emotionally intelligent, whatever that means, and speaking our feelings to women more. Oh, honey, I'm heartbroken. Whatever. YouTube channels like Taylor the Fiend often remind men that when women say this, they don't really mean it. They don't want you to express your emotions. In other words, as soon as you take the bait and communicate all your feelings and emotions, modern women will tend to get bored or turn off and seek those bad boy types who are emotionally elusive and hard to read. Did you hear that, gentlemen? They like the bad boy type. We know that. Bad boys are not emotionally communicative. They're not emotional. They're elusive. They're hard to read. They just take off emotionally. Every experienced gentleman has seen this phenomenon. Society has to realize that women are emotional, but men are not. Why is that hard to understand? That's what makes relationships good. The things that women are good at are a compliment to the man, and vice versa. Men are good at building things, fixing technical stuff, solving problems, especially when it comes to heavy lifting and tasks oriented around physical strength. That's what men do. When you observe successful couples, the exchange of emotions on the woman's side and physical strength on the man's side is balanced and brings them together over the years. Of course, nothing is perfect, but when storms come to that relationship, the couple is resilient because of that. Let me read a quote from the article and then I'll comment after. Quote, Younger and middle-aged men are the loneliest they've been in generations, and it's probably going to get worse. This is not my typical rosy view of relationships, but a reality nonetheless. Over the last 30 years, men have become a larger portion of that growing group of long-term single people. And while you don't actually need to be in a relationship to be happy, men typically are happier and healthier when partnered, unquote. Oh boy, here we go. Notice, this intro does not speak to the alarming increase in entitlement among modern women. They expect men to just come at them perfect, with above average income, physically attractive, like a 10, usually taller than 6 feet. Yet, those same women tend to expect men to accept all their flaws, all their children out of wedlock, etc. So, while the author mentions more men being long-term single, quote unquote, over the last 30 years, the last 15 of those years are men voluntarily going solo because the incentive is no longer there to be that traditional man women want, when all men get in return is feminism, who are not being traditional women. Why is this so hard for psychology today and most modern women to understand? They claim they want men to be better at communication, yet they seem to avoid listening to our preferences when we tell them. Plus, a lot of modern women are poor communicators too, often not asking us what our preferences are. They get frustrated when they don't get their way with us, like kids, right? This next quote from the article shows the tone deafness of the pro-modern womanist crowd. Quote, relationship standards. With so many options, they're talking about women, it's not surprising that women are increasingly selective. I do a live TikTok show and speak with hundreds of audience members every week, probably women, not men. I hear recurring dating themes from women between ages 24 and 45. They prefer men who are emotionally available, no they don't, who are good communicators, no they don't, and who share their values, unquote. What does that mean? What value? What are you talking about? Oh boy, they don't get men at all, period. But let me continue. Quote, skills deficits. For men, this means a relationship skills gap that, if not addressed, will likely lead to fewer dating opportunities and longer periods of being single. There's less patience by women for poor communication skills today. The problem for men, here you go blaming men. The problem for men is that emotional connection is the lifeblood of healthy long-term love, and it requires all the skills that families still are not consistently teaching young boys, unquote. Oh, we're not teaching boys to be emotional feely guys, are we? Whatever. As you just heard, they keep saying they want men who are emotionally available, that they ain't got time for men with poor communication skills, yet not one time did they mention how poor at listening modern women are. They want us, men, to accept their non-traditional ways, but want us to be traditional men with emotions and being talkative about our feelings. They want men to become like them, women, which of course is laughable. Every time men try to explain their preferences to women, most modern women deflect, shame, and hurl insults at them. Is that this quote-unquote communication skill they want men to have? They complain, and we listen, but there's no reciprocity. It's this kind of one-sided rhetoric that is making the once venerable psychology journal lose its credibility with men by articles like this. And it shows why so many men avoid going to these kinds of therapists who cater to women yet criticize men as if all relationship breakdowns are the fault of men while women are blameless and perfect. Where did they get this stuff from? You can't make this up. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so we can keep this new channel growing for us gentlemen out there and the ladies that love us. So gentlemen, don't let chameleon articles like this deter you from your mission. Romance is a two-way street, not a platform for them to whine and complain and shame us into submission to them. Until modern women and their chameleon journal, Psychology Today, understand that more men are going solo by choice and not due to loneliness or quote-unquote relationship skills gap, the apocalypse of good men will continue. Welcome to the Brother Apocalypse.